Yo, what's up boys, and welcome to a bit of a different DayZ video. This one's going to be talking about the DayZ 0.6 patch content, which was all put together by the beautiful Reddit user ZomboCZ, and it basically goes through all of the items which are in game right now but aren't actually in loot tables. You won't be able to find them on servers, but basically they're very soon going to be added into the game itself. And there's a lot of really cool stuff which I wanted to show you guys in this video. Just so you know, the DayZ RP servers are down right now, which is why I'm making this video rather than playing on DayZ RP. But as for, I don't know, I'm feeling a bit excited for DayZ Standalone, so I still wanted to make something in regards to that. So this is close to that because it's going to be content which you will see very soon in the DayZ RP series, since that is of course on Standalone. Regardless, it is just going to be going through these pictures. There will be some information in the description below if you want to check that out for sources of stuff and some more information if you want to read up on shit, but that'll be down there. But regardless, let's talk about all the items which you will find, starting out with weapons. You would have seen this on your screen for a long time already, but this is the dart/air gun, which is something interesting added to the game. Obviously you've got the possibility of having tranquilizers and stuff like that, and you've not only got the green version but also the black version, and that's pretty much that. It's a tranquilizing kind of weapon. A lot of people think of these as you know, how will they sit in DayZ Standalone. I'm more seeing them as how do they sit in DayZ RP, and this is going to be a perfect fit in it, being able to tranquilize someone or affect them in some way without obviously, you know, having to poison them yourself by being right beside them, etc, etc. Next up, we've got the M249, which I know has been in work for a long time, and it's a first machine gun which is going to be added to the game. You'll see, of course, it's got a beautiful belt which will carry many rounds. You can already get the AKM like large magazine in the game, but other than that, this is definitely going to be the weapon with the most capacity ever, and it's cool to finally see a machine gun in the game. Next up, we've got something very interesting, which is the M72 Law, which is, of course, a launcher. There isn't any launchers in the game right now. The only thing, I guess, close to that, which really isn't close to that, is the flare gun. It's nothing like it, but it's, you know, something which shoots a projectile, and that's pretty much the only similarity it has with the flare gun. But past that, it's a fucking launcher, and it'll be perfect again for RP situations. Some people commented in the Reddit thread saying I don't see people using this in DayZ itself because it's, you know, going to be something massive on your fucking back, etc, etc. But for RP cases, this thing is going to be an end game awesome item used for raiding bases, which is very exciting, and something which I'm going to be talking about in just a few seconds. Next up, we've got the mini Uzi. Nothing too crazy. I'm hoping something which is going to be small, and you'll also notice it does have a foldable stock, which I can imagine you can right click on it and fold that out or fold it in, depending on whether you want it out for combat or if you want it in storage in the back of your backpack or clothes or whatever else. Next up, we have got the Ots Fourteen Grocer, which some of you guys will recognize from DayZ mod a long time ago. I think the DayZ mod had this in it. It's a very nice weapon with a silencer naturally built into it, as well as having a decent scope on top of it. A very nice piece of weaponry, and in case you couldn't tell from the name and from the looks of it, it is a Russian piece of weaponry, which makes it perfect for the Shinaris theme. Next up, we've got the P9 silence pistol, which, I mean, it doesn't look very silenced right here, but again, it's just one of the many pistols in the game. I mean, there's a few different ammo types you can use for pistols right now, like 9mm, 45, 357. This is just going to be another one of those pistols which I guess uses one of those ammo types. It just kind of looks similar to a Makarov, but there is already a Makarov in the game, so don't worry, it's not a Makarov-esque weapon. Next up, we've got the Recurve Bow, which there's already crossbows and stuff in the game, so this will add to that weaponry. Again, not really something you're going to see in an actual DayZ standalone server, but for RP, I guess it could work for hunting and stuff, which is also something which we're going to be talking about very soon. Next up is RPG, which again, we've seen in the files for a long time, but it's looking really good, and it's another launcher on top of a launcher I've shown you guys before, which is going to be perfect for some fucking awesome explosional situations, and it's going to be something which is very end game. Next up, the Sega 12K, which, as you guys should know, is a automatic shotgun. Next up is the Scout Rifle, which is going to add to the list of rifles in the game. I'd imagine you'd be able to put PU scopes and stuff on top of this, along with a bunch of other scopes. It's just another rifle. There's nothing really too special about it, but it does look really cool. Grey, along with the Sega you just seen before a few seconds ago. And finally, we have the Taser, which is really cool. I hope it makes a player ragdoll, but it probably won't. For some reason, I've just got a boner for players ragdoll when they're not dead. Obviously, if you pass someone out right now in the game, they don't ragdoll, because then there might be like decent issues with a player looking like they're on the floor when they're actually on a building. So that's the reason why that doesn't happen. So it probably isn't going to happen, but still, it's a taser which is going to disable players in the game. So that was pretty much all of the weapons. I mean, that was all the weapons. Obviously, those are going to be added into the game at various different moments in its lifespan, but it is still, a lot of them are very exciting for DayZ Standalone. Not that DayZ Standalone doesn't have enough weapons as it is, but this is even more to be added to the loot tables. And this is why I like Standalone. Like, it runs so good right now. Again, like 100 FPS, it's awesome. All these things are gonna be eventually able to be modded. Different maps on Standalone, stuff like that. There's so many cool assets. It just needs, I guess, mod tools and the server owners to be able to customize the server how we want with vehicle spawns, the loot tables, stuff like that. And that's gonna be really fucking cool once that eventually rolls around. So next up, we've got the clothes. We've got the Balaclava, which many of you guys will be a big fan of, with the open mouthpiece. It's a free-hole Balaclava, obviously for the eyes and the mouth, which we don't have in the game right now. You can get a Balaclava, which just has the eyes in one strip, but this is a really classic, awesome-looking Balaclava. We are going to go through these slightly fast, just because I don't think clothing pieces of that exciting, considering we've got some actually interesting things coming up very soon. Next up, we've got the BD Woodland Pants, just some woodland clothing pants. You do have a lot of desert clothing in the game right now. There's nothing which is really perfect for woodland combat, so that is that right there. Got the hunting vest, which is more of a civilian piece, but again, a lot of these will be perfect for DayZ RP players. A lot of the time, you know, you're going to go with the thing with the most, slots inside it. But for DayZ RP, which is what I'm going to be playing a lot on my YouTube channel right now, this is going to be something which is going to build up your character. And yeah, it's not going to be the best for fucking, end game shit, but it does look really cool. Next up, we've got the jumpsuit. Sorry, I can't speak English, which has got the upper torso area and of course the pants, otherwise it wouldn't be a fucking jumpsuit. Next up, we've got the Mitch 2001 tactical helmet, which is another tactical helmet in the game, which doesn't look stupid. The ones right now in the game are like green with like a chin strap on them. I mean, they don't look bad, but they just look very basic. This one looks a bit better and will provide you with a bit more head armor. Next, we've got the mouth gag, which is of course going to, I can only assume, manage to gag the player in game. My only problem with DayZ Standalone right now is the voice of IP sounds like shit. If you are taking a lot of the armor-free technology, for example for audio technology, which I don't know exactly how it works, and implementing it into DayZ Standalone, I really just wish we had the armor-free codec and had that in Standalone, because it sounds so good. And the codec right now in Standalone is a bit jittery, it sounds a bit shit, so I'm hoping that will eventually be improved in Standalone, and this mouth gag will of course manage to either mute your players or make them a bit mumbled, or not a bit mumbled, a bit just less hearable. Either one works really, but I'd prefer the second, I guess. Next we've got the sneakers, which is again good for some looking cool kind of RP. Kind of look like, I forgot what brand that is, but it looks like a brand which I should know, and I'm too stupid to tell you guys what it is. Next up, surgical mask, because since we don't have enough roleplay for medics in the field right now and doctors, we've got a surgical mask, which is perfect for chopping off your friend's legs. And finally, we have the I don't know what the fuck that says. It's a Russian Navy undershirt, apparently. It looks cool. Again, another piece of clothes in the game, as if there isn't enough already. The art team has been going ham on these things. A lot of them are looking really good. Next up, we've got equipment. We have the Coyote backpack, which is another backpack in the game. There's a decent amount of variance in right now. When the game first came out, was the big one, the small one. That was pretty much it. But now you've got a lot of variance with green military ones, black military ones, the drive bags and stuff like that. But there's another one, the megaphone, which I'm hoping will affect the player's voice. Assuming they sort out the voice of IP again, it's kind of shit without it, but that could be really cool for some RP situations. Night vision optics, which we don't really have anything in regards to that right now in the game, which is why everyone fucking hates nighttime, or at least that's why I hate. And finally, also we have the Nvg Head Strap, which again, we don't have night vision in the game. It's been fucking like 2.5 years since the game came out. The game came out in 2014 December, or was it 2013 December? I actually don't know off the top of my head. I think it's 2014, right? No, it must have been 2013. Okay, never mind. It's been so long. And then we have the personal radio station, which you'll see also there is the mounted one, which goes on your back, another backpack variant, and another way to communicate with people in game. Again, I just wish the voice of IP didn't suck. The petrol lighter, which will be used to ignite things rather than using the torch which you can use in your hand right now in the match box. You can also get a lighter in the game, which will be a bit more of a useful thing to use over and over again. I guess it is going to last a bit longer. I'm sorry if you guys, haven't or have seen this already. If you have, then it is just me talking about it and giving opinions on it. But I'm sure a lot of you guys missed it and would love to hear what things are coming in regards to Standalone. So that's why I'm making this video. Next up, we have the work in progress vehicles and also maintenance. So things which will, keep your vehicles up to date. We have a bicycle, which you can see is still in its early stages, not textured, etc., etc. But it'll be cool to have some more vehicles in the game. They are a bit lackluster right now. I really just wish the server owners could manipulate where vehicles spawn and and how well they spawn in terms of their quality and how many spawn. That would be really cool, because DayZ RP right now is just, it's annoying having to run everywhere. Next up, we've got the Skoda 1203, which is a beautiful rusty vehicle looking perfect in the Chernarus scenery. Next up, we have a motorbike, which I don't know if you can have 2 people on that, but again, it's something perfect for the scenario. And also, you would have seen most of these vehicles really in armor too, so it's cool that we're finally bringing those into DayZ Standalone. And finally, we have the equipment pieces, which are the engine / alternator belt, the oil bottle, and finally the brake fluid bottle. Some of these will be used on the, for motorbike and stuff like that. That's why they are added in the game. But other ones like the oil bottle and the brake fluid bottle, I don't know what they're going to be used for, but I'd imagine just another complexion to the already complicated vehicle system. Next up, we have the exciting thing, in my opinion, which is the base building, which is something which people have talked about for a long time. I remember when Standalone first came out and Rocket was talking about having these underground instanced base building things. Obviously, things have changed. Rocket is no longer a part of the development, and this is what they've got. So I'm going to go through these again pretty quickly, but we have the barbed wire, which is cool. We'll be able to set something up on the road or wherever we want now. The battery charger. We have the cable reel. Got to keep your cables nice and clean, of course. I'd probably not do that, but whatever. The Camo Net, which, you can place wherever you want. The alternative Camo Net, which is, I don't know, it's just going to be used in a different location. The other one is going to be for a wall kind of thing. We've got the Christmas lights. We have the wooden door. We have the Hesco box, which, again, will just be used to wall off kind of thing. The improvised tent, which will be used, I'd imagine, early on in the game. The metal fence wire, which will be deployed again. The metal sheets, which I'm imagining are going to be used in some kind of base building structure, but obviously those by themselves aren't really good for base building. The wooden planks, the party tent / shelter, power generator, the spotlight, and finally we have the underground stash, the sea chest, which you can go ahead and dig into the floor and take it out and in whenever you want. I don't know why I said finally. I didn't mean finally. I mean, clearly there's more stuff. The watchtower as well, which has got barbed wire. You can see on the bottom of it. It's looking pretty fucking late. Obviously, there's going to be some more things added in terms of base building, and people are concerned, and I completely agree, what's going to stop people from server hopping to get into people's bases? If it is locked by a door or whatever, you can just server hop, right? At least right now. So we are going to have to add something in the game, but for DayZ RP, obviously there's going to be rules against that. So it's cool that people will at least now be able to actually build their own bases, like trade and settlement, stuff like that, using mechanics in the game rather than depending on server owners and Arma 2 to actually spawn stuff in on the server. Next up, we have the environment buildings, which you'll obviously find around the environment. So these are just extra props which you'll find in the game. We have a biohazard shower tent, which is also the biohazard uniform currently in the files, which I don't have handy here. But obviously you can look fucking awesome in your biohazard suit in the biohazard shower tent. We have the caravan, which I'd imagine looking at the windows is enterable. We have the enterable L-shaped barracks. This, of course, right here is a picture of a northwest airfield. So those are now going to be enterable along with the other barracks, which are just to the left of there. Those are enterable in Standalone, in case you guys didn't already. And finally, we have the mushrooms, which hopefully you can pick, eat, and become a drug addict. Which also, Rocket talked a lot about drugs, so it's cool that finally there's something, I guess, in regards to that in the game, although not necessarily drugs. Maybe we're just really nice to eat, who knows. Next up, we have the character changes, which we have rock, paper, scissors, which is fucking amazing for standalone RP. Again, not so much for a normal server. I feel like a lot of these things are useful for RP, but not for normal servers, which is good, because I think standalone RP is really the way to go in terms of what you're going to want. There's going to be certain servers which are going to be more casual RP, more hardcore RP. DayZ RP is definitely one of the more hardcore ones. But yeah, being able to rock, paper, scissors someone for whatever in the game is awesome. Rifle on shoulder animation, just to rest that on there. You've got a few character heads, which you will be able to, of course, use in the game. And then finally, you have the beard player lifetime progression, which really you can't see too well here, but basically it was an idea which Rocket talked about a long time ago, which is your beard slowly growing on your character's face. Again, cool for RP, but not so much for anything else. Not that there's anything wrong with that. The final two things I've got to show you guys are the new animals which are going to be in the game, which is the duck. Yeah, it's a duck. I mean, there's chickens right now, so I guess there's now a duck as well. And then there is the video, which came out a long time ago, but it should be coming out very soon, which is the Predators teaser footage, which is for the wolves, which are not only going to be a threat for players, but also for obviously the current animals in the game. In case you guys haven't played Standalone recently, it was actually like these animals which you'll see in this video, like the Bambis running around in the forest, like running from players. But now we'll also have predators in the form of wolves to attack them and also to attack the players, which is cool to add to the already existing threat of the zombies. Anyway, that is literally it for this video. I don't know how it's been for you guys to watch. I'm uploading this in the middle of the night because I've got nothing better to do. But if you guys would like to see another one like this in the future, just to talk about the things which are going to be coming very soon to DayZ Standalone, I'd love to talk about it. It's very basic. All it needs is me to put in those fucking million images, which I'm going to add into a video in a second. God damn, it's going to take a long time. Anyway, feel free to leave any comments in the comment section below. Sorry there isn't a DayZ RP video today. So is it down, like I said. But don't forget to comment, subscribe, and all good stuff. And I don't know. I'm fucking excited. I'll see you guys next time.